Hi, this is Jessica again. I know I've made a few videos about my electronic cigarette. However, this is specifically for a friend of mine. Her name is Christine. Love you. Anyway, I am doing this video especially for her so that because I gave her or enabled her to acquire this exact same setup as me, and so I wanted to do a little bit of a refresher course for her. So I have one here that I've been using and it needs to be cleaned. And this is the one that I have been using, and it also needs to get cleaned, but I'm not going to do both right now. So this is what I start to do if this one starts to taste a little burnt, which this one does right now a little bit. So I find the little hole on the side there, which I know you know how to do, Krit. And I draw out all the liquid, so that way I'm not wasting anything. Get as much of the liquid out as I can. So that way I don't waste anything if I'm going to clean one that currently has some liquid in it. And this is about how much liquid is going to be left in it if I vaped it dry anyway, so it's no big deal. Alright, so now we're going to switch to a little bit different of a view for you, because I'm going to show you how I take these apart. And I'm going to show you how to cut the notches on the side, which there are other YouTube videos that do that, but I think it would just be easier to give Krit a whole everything all in one shot. Alright, so we're going to switch to a different view here momentarily. Okay, so here we are with this, and I'll show you my little tools that I like to have. You can use a regular pair of scissors, but I like these guys. These are just, these are nail clippers. They're very, very pointy and easy to cut out the notches on these babies right here. The other thing I have, you can use a pen, you can use whatever it is that works for you. Me, myself, and I use this wonderful metal chopstick that I acquired at a sushi place once. And I put that in here to hold down the black stopper. First I'll wiggle this off just a little bit. Make sure it's tight and it's on your battery and it's tight, and wiggle just a tiny bit. And you might be able to see that I wiggle it until I hit that stopper. I'm going to do this far away from my body, which I don't normally do. Okay, so I get to about that stopper. And the problem then becomes that if I continue to pull on it, when it's brand new, the black piece attaches to this cup and the whole thing pulls off, and then the soldered pieces that have been soldered on the inside give me major problems. So it pulls it right off and then it doesn't work anymore. Okay, so I use this and I push this down, hold the plastic part up right there, push that down, and then I slide this off while pushing down. Slide this up and off like so. So that way I don't yank, but the wires that are soldered on here will just come right off, because this is not sturdy and this slips off, the black part that attaches to the metal bar. So that black cup on the end pulls this whole piece off, and then all the wires become disconnected. So that's why I do it that way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go take this and I'm going to go run it under relatively hot water. Not scalding hot, not boiling hot, but relatively hot water. I want it to be clean. Okay, so I'm back now, and I've run this under water and I've blotted it off. Just lay it down on the paper towel, fold it over, blot it off. Okay, so there's that. And now we're going to dry it. We're going to cook that coil on the inside. Press it, hold it, let go. Press it, hold it, let go. Now I will also blow on it at the same time as pressing and holding it and heating it up. And that gets any of the liquid that's been vaporized by that atomizer, creates gunk on there. And so what this does is it fries it and makes it kind of ashy, and then you can blow it off. And you don't have to worry about the wick. If you can't tell, I don't know if you can tell, that's the ash that's on there. But the wick itself is black on the inside. And you can, and because this is a pre-burned wick, just like a Zippo, honey, so you're not gonna do a lot of damage to it. You're not gonna ruin it. And so I do this until you can tell that I'm still getting some smoke off of there. It gets rid of the water that's left in the wick. And especially with ours, Crit, you're going to notice that mentholy, Newport-y smell coming off of it. Now some people will do this until there's no more smoke coming off of there. Sometimes I do. Sometimes if the coils look clean enough and the wick looks clean enough. See, it looks white again. I know it's really hard to tell, but it looks pretty white again. And I can hold it and it heats up pretty fast. So I try not to get the battery wet. When you're running this underwater, some of the waters run down a little bit. But I don't like to run the water over the button on the battery because there is a computer chip in there, honey. Alright, so burn it a few more times. Alright, so now we're moving on to this little black piece right there. Okay, yay, that works. Okay, so here's your little notch. This piece right here, where's my thingy? There it is. Sits over. You want to make sure those notches sit over the wicks so that when you put that plastic piece back down, there is a hole for your wick to go through so that the juice can get up through your wick and into your little cup over here. However, when you slide that plastic piece back down, it tends to take this thing and like really push it on there. So I have found, and many others have found, that if you make this hole, this slot right there, slightly bigger. Now I use these things, these wonderful things that I was showing you before, and I'm going to be difficult to really show you because I have to pay attention. So I cut a little that way, and then I flip them over, and I cut a little the other way, and then this little piece right here either comes out or I can cut it out. So this is what it did look like. That's what it did look like right there. And this is what I made it look like. Like that. And that's what it did look like. So it leaves more room for the wick. That's it. That's all you do. Okay, so I'm going to do the other side over here where I can see it. So now both sides look like this. Both sides look like this. They don't need to be perfect or exact. Now when you do this with the scissors, you want to make sure, because on the inside of this there is another ring, that one right there that sits inside the cup. You want to make sure you do not cut that ring right there, just that outside part, just the outside piece. Okay, so now we're going to put this whole thing back together again. So we burned this, okay, cooled it off a little bit. And then this is good. Those two V's are going to sit on top of the wick on both sides. Focus in. So they sit inside that V. See? They sit inside the V. Gives them a little bit more room. When this gets squished down by the plastic thing you're going to slide over. Personally, I'm a stickler and I'm ridiculous and a perfectionist, and one of these wicks I like it to sit in the front, and the other one I like it to sit going the other way in the back. because I'm silly. But okay, so this one, eventually after you use them for a little while, it really doesn't matter. You can tell that this one is a little bit wider on this side, so that's the side that went down over this piece down here. And this part is pretty simple. You fit it over the thing and you push down, and I reposition the wicks as I push on it so it doesn't get trapped in the bottom, and you push down. And you want to make sure that wick does not get caught between, see, like this one's doing it right now. The wick is getting caught between the plastic and the metal. And you don't want that to happen, because then your juice will leak out of the thing, and that will not be fun for anybody. So I will use this little pointy thing and just make it, guide it back up into the actual thing. There we go. Yay! Push that back on all the way. Until it sits down at the bottom of the actual unit, not the battery. Just the unit. It's just easier if you attach it to the battery. In order to do this, it gives you better leverage. There you go. Clean. Cut. And that will help your burnt dry taste too, Crit, is to have those things cut. And then I take the liquid that I had before. I'm going to probably draw up a little bit more liquid. Just a little bit more. Put it in the hole in the side. Like so. And you can see it come out the bottom. And then fill it up. Alright, and as I pull out, I like pull the plunger at the same time. There you go. Now you have a fully filled one. I turned it upside down a little bit. Stick the mouthpiece back on. Perfect. Definitely, as you can tell, plenty of vapor, so definitely no problem there. Brand new, cleaned. Yay, clean. Alright, I think that's it, Crit. So these are your CE2 carts, these are your batteries. You know how to, you can charge them with the cord that you got with it, and you can charge it with the charger that I gave you as well. That way. Really makes no difference whatsoever. Perfectly fine to do it either way. And I think that's everything. Cutting, filling, washing. I think we got everything. There you go. Should be happy now, Crit. If there's anything I left out or any other questions you have, feel free to leave a comment, and I will be very happy to make a response video or whatever. And until then, Crit, happy vaping. Love you. Bye.